There's the emotional internalizing the message as it's presented, meaning, hey, Maricela, just speak up more. And you're like, okay, but then you get shot down. And then the internalization of, oh, I must not be doing this right. Or it's framed as imposter syndrome or the self doubt when really the cards are stacked against us. The norms are not made clear. There's a double standard at play. I mean, this debate of do women ask has been going on since the Linda Babcock research days. And then, okay, women do ask in greater number, but get shot down more and are penalized more. So why are we not looking at the systems and the people around us, including what do women do to each other in queen bee syndrome, right? And other dynamics. There's the emotional aspect of we start to think we're the problem because the problem statement is go fix yourself. Then there's the physical aspect of what happens when you stay silent or when you feel the need to edit out part of yourself at work or at home in the relationship. Essentially, your body is on chronic high alert, right? That part of myself is not allowed. That part of myself is not welcome. That part of myself triggers other things. So I need to be on high alert. And our nervous systems were not intended, we're not built to be on chronic high alert. And so that leads to greater risk for chronic health issues. For me, it was hives, it was hair loss, it was insomnia. I mean, you talk about weathering, particularly in Black women's bodies. That's a physical aspect of it. And then there's a third component, which is relational, emotional, that the Surgeon General and others have done a tremendous amount of research on in terms of loneliness and social isolation. That because we're not talking about things, we then are more likely to believe it's just me. And then we are further isolated from one another, which leads to all sorts of health impacts comparable to smoking and shortening in lifespan. In my book, Unlearning Silence, I talk about it as the double pain, which is a reference to a badge in Mario Brothers of there's the initial pain of the job loss, life not turning out as you expected, the cancer diagnosis, whatever it is, that initial pain, that catalyst. And then there's often the sense, the double pain that comes from, well, I can't talk about it with anyone. Oof. And we may not be able to solve for the initial pain, get a job right away, cure cancer right away, if ever. But we often have the opportunity to solve for the double pain, which is that isolation, that sense of I have to go through it alone. No one understands me. No one else is going through this. To me, the power of conversation, the power of unlearning silence, the power of being present with each other is we can at least solve for the double pain, right? The power of, yeah, me too. Wait, you're also unemployed? Okay, it's not just me. And how much more do we see our own humanity and not have to carry the weight of posturing or pretending things are okay when they're not?